course of human progress has been set by those who have had the freedom to innovate, freedom to take risks, freedom to be creative, curious, ask questions, and doggedly pursue the truth. We need to find new ways to channel the pioneering spirit of scientific novelty, creating and risk-taking. And that is why we're setting up a new agency with a very, very special remit to fund science in new ways at arm's length from government and using a programme management approach. An agency which embraces new ways of doing things and in doing so acts freely and independently from central government control. The Advanced Research and Invention Agency will nurture special and unique culture of experimentation, particularly with different funding models, where the judgment of experts is backed to the hilt and where bold new programmes of research are created. To be successful, ARIA will be free to act swiftly and decisively, emulating the agility of the private sector, where decisions are taken in minutes, not months. And ARIA will set up to be a bold, indeed it will have the authority in law to pursue the highest risk research. It will be free to take risks and it will be free to fail.
I just want to pick up on the open innovation and open data.
Sure.
One of the things I talked about was underrepresented groups of people, and actually having very large data sets available. I mean, this is anonymized data, but having available is a really good baseline for development of accurate, reliable solutions. So one of the things I remember reading is that in medicines, a lot of the dosages were based on men, and yet 51% of the population are women. So, you know, could we get dosing right if we had bigger data sets? And the answer is obviously, similarly with AI becomes biased if it doesn't have a good enough training data set. So it really, I think, really underpins a lot of future developments. And so transparency around data and open data, I think, is really valuable. And one of the guests has commented, yeah, I mean, part of the reasons the ventilators program, you know, other companies could develop these ventilators was because that those designs and things were put into the public arena. So I absolutely agree that, you know, open innovation is really key.
We've seen a real balance through actually the pandemic on the medical side. You know, we've spoke a lot about the vaccines. I think what's been less apparent to many is perhaps some of that repurposing of medical innovation from previous decades, and the way that we've approached, in particular, the Oxford group through Martin Laudry and the recovery trial has just been incredible. And this was repurposing medicines from, you know, decades ago and trialing them in the NHS in real time to see whether they do work and whether they do offer benefit. And we found a number of really exciting innovations as a result of that, which have undoubtedly saved many lives. So the underlying molecule wasn't new. What was new and innovative was the approach to trialing those in such a rapid, agile manner.
When you say microfinance, people get the impression that poor people need some kind of a special kind of financing. The way I framed it all along, stumble into that issue and raise that voice, the banking system has been designed absolutely in a wrong way. It's a system which caters only to the needs of the people who already have lots of money. I said the banking system was supposed to provide the financial system, the financial services to the people who are around them. But the financial system, the banking system has focused only on the people who are at the top. The more you have, the more you can get. That's the principle they have followed. As a result, vast majority of the population of the world are deprived from the financial system. So what we did, what became known as microcredit, microfinance, through the bank that I created called Grameen Bank or a village bank, to undo that system, to create a system where it can work even with the poorest person, even with the poorest women in the remote village. And I demonstrated that it can be done because they were saying it cannot be done. They were saying they're not credit worthy. I was raising the question, are you people worthy? That's the basic question.
We are in deep trouble because of the technologies we've introduced in the past, and most of these technologies have been based on the use of fossil fuels to provide all the energy. we're in deep, deep trouble, and we don't want to repeat that. But I'm afraid we've got ourselves into such deep trouble that we need new science and technology to drive us forward. This is, I believe, a British Science Association meeting, and we ought to stress that science is going to provide the solutions. And I favor very much biomimicry and nature-based solutions. I'm all for proceeding carefully, doing thorough experiments, and checking out that there are no negative impacts before rolling anything out at scale.
And I think I'm going to derail a bit and actually propose a solution which I think everyone should think about. And it's, a multifaceted nature-based solution, which I think are smart investment for our generations, socially, ethically, environmentally, economically, and politically. So we'll be thinking about how to integrate tech development and tech in our lives in terms of economic gains, from immediate jobs, restoring and protecting nature, to long-term economic growth associated with increasing food and water security, business productivity, tourism and recreation value. All of the things are going to set a new normal. And simultaneously, we'll be thinking about avoiding losses. So is there a way that tech companies can come with, both the public and private sector, to protect communities and infrastructure from floods, from storms, heat waves, and saving many countries billions of dollars each year?